Oh shoot, what's the name? I will also suggest for your receivers, man. You got Marquise Brown coming back soon.
Yeah, man.
You might have to work him in your lineup.
Oh, quick, have somebody play that night.
Yeah, man. So look, we might as well start there with the Tennessee Green Bay game. And y'all watch that?
Yeah, no. Well, I watched a little bit, parts of it. I see.
Yeah,
my bad. I'm starting over wrong. I forgot to say. We back live from the Nation Camp. With the In the Pocket podcast. We got the fellas with 3-man crew today. I think Turn's still doing his husbandly duties for the business birthday. But look, to that Tennessee Green Bay game, Tennessee won 27-17. And they basically, I think, I was going to say, they took a page out of the Washington playbook and just ran the ball, but that's just what they do. They with Derrick Henry, they basically pound you to death. And if you can't get up on them, you're in trouble.
There's some surprising players on there, though. Like,
look, so my big support. First of all, let me say this: we already know Derrick Henry he basically Megatron when it comes to being a running back. Because not only did he have 87 yards with TD, he actually threw a pass for a touchdown. So they getting him involved in all and he had 2 catches for 45 yards. Other than that, with Green Bay, man, Watson, I don't know, man, he might be the real deal. Finally, now he catching the ball.
I believe that.
Look, here's the funny thing. We just talking about Cooper Kupp. I'm playing Chris. He got Watson.
Did he play him?
Yeah, he get 21 points, and that's right in the versus spot. That'll be right up against Cooper Kupp too. So now so now I'm done. I got Jones in that spot.
that was your one bullet you had.
Yo.
The one joint you had in the chamber, you like, yeah, I pull this one out.
Yo, my team usually has Kupp at one receiver and Waddle at the second receiver. Now I got to this week Curtis Samuel and Peoples-Jones at the receiver spot. Then I usually got Zeke and Pollard and the running backs, which they've been killing for me. And now I got Hines and Carter. Yo. No, Pollard's still there because he come back this week. Pollard and Carter. It just sucks, yo.
And that's probably like majority of people out there now.
You ain't gonna get no sympathy from me.
No
sympathy from me. Look like I'm trying to. I got to pick up a kicker because I've been trying to, platoon people for the last couple of weeks. I'm having to drop a kicker and then pick them back up, or pick one back up, just to fill the squad.
Yeah, as much as I like your roster, structure, and the way we're doing it with the waiver spots, like how many bench spots we have. I know it's gonna be hard to get through on the other league next year because they've been going so long with it, man. They be resisting, yo. I know they're gonna resist that, but there's nobody in the waiver wire in the other league, man. It's just pointless. It's basically useless to have the waiver wire out that joint, yo.
Back to what we talked with the. Anything else from Green Bay, man, other than Watson?
Burke.
Oh yeah.
Burke, and then the tight end from Maryland. Oh, I forgot. I don't even know how to pronounce the last name. Oh man.
So Treylon Burks? That's his name?
Yeah.
How you say his name? He had 7 for 111. I forgot about that. Man, he might be looking to step up. What's his
His number is 85. It's Osuako, something like that. Osuako.
Oh yeah. It's for
tight end for Titans, number 85.
Okonkwo?
I think so.
Yeah, 2 for
I know
1 for 31.
Last 2 games, man, I've seen him be killing.
Let's see what
Maryland's the most.
Oh, Concord, yeah.
The University of Maryland is the most NFL producing stars, sorriest college program I ever seen in my life. Like I never seen a program produce so many good players. That's always like just mediocre, yo.
Man, look, but the problem is that you see it. It's all on. It's all skill guys.
Yeah,
exactly. It ain't gonna change until you get a bunch of big beefy old linemen.
I mean, they got some linebackers and D line. It's just the O line.
Like it's the O line. They can
They
never
don't have O line.
Never put together like a Big Ten type of O line. It says Burks returned to the lineup for the first time since week 4. And since that time, he's had a 16% target share, 76% route run rate. His average depth of target the week before was 3.3 yards, and he only had a 7.4% air share. And they talk about his role evolving down the stretch. So that was a surprise. It says he had a career high in reception and receiving yards.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. If he can carve out if he could just become the main target in Tennessee's pass attack, then I think he can be kind of useful. He can be useful because they're not gonna throw the ball up. But if he getting the majority of the passes, then it should be cool. But look, let's go to the injury report. Not expected to play. You see, Gus Edwards ruled out already. It's Corey Davis, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Jamar Chase, Juju Smith-Schuster. Game time decisions. And I don't know if he's out on that, but Wan'Dale Robinson is listed. David Njoku, game time decision. Devontae Parker, Josh Reynolds, Gerald Everett, DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray are all game time decisions. Expected to play Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, and Devontae Adams.
We want to add something that we just found out today, just now. Cole Harmon, he's out too.
Oh yeah, James just mentioned that. Yeah.
So there's no way that that the Rams bring back Cooper Kupp, right?
No, I just seen the message. It said 6 to 8 weeks now.
Oh, 6 to 8 weeks
after surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, figured that.
I'm trying to think. Who else am I missing?
Why did he have surgery for a high ankle? I'm sorry. Go ahead, right?
So from a defense or from some other inactives, not just the receiver or the offensive guys. Mark Ingram II, Cameron Jordan, defensive man for New Orleans. Marcus Lattimore, the cornerback, that's big, is inactive. Let's see. For Chicago, N'Keal Harry, receiver, got Corey Davis. Carolina, PJ Walker's inactive, of course. And I got to do something about that quarterback situation. Let me see. Anybody else note? Detroit got two defensive ends out: Josh Pascal and Charles Harris. Let's see. Jamar Chase, David Thompson, Chris Landers, Eric Armstead. Oh, we forgot about Zach Ertz being out for Arizona. And he's out for the season, right? If I'm not mistaken.
So I just seen a message just now said Odell Beckham Jr. is going to visit. He's going to do his official visit to Cowboys and Giants after Thanksgiving. They're the front runners right now. And then the Broncos is head coach Nathaniel Hackett is going to give his play calling duties to Clint Kubiak. So it might be a little different play calling on the Denver Broncos. We'll see.
All right, we'll leave it. Let's see, get back to the inactives. All right, man. Let's see. First game up on the slate. I'll be doing that. And you say he was doing this. He was gonna do his visit after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he's gonna visit Giants and Dallas, and they're the two front runners.
Look at somebody. Who's that Gene that posted OBJ with a die? I thought they were saying he signed with him already.
Yeah, I saw that joint and just ignored it, man. I forgot who it was, but it was weird. Yeah, they posted like he was there or something.
It was I thought it was Michael Parsons that put that.
Oh, did he? Somebody created it, and somebody in the other league posted it.
Chat, yeah, posted.
All right, so first up, man, Chicago Bears, Atlanta Falcons. All right, and so Atlanta is given 3 points, so they favored by 3 just from the home perspective. But this joint, the way they posting it, it looked like they got sneaky shootout potential because the over-under is 49 points. Which, in fantasy, that's not bad. That's not bad. So what y'all think about this, man? Last week, my boy Cordell Patterson disappointed. So they basically turned that backfield into a mashup of a committee. So I'm not sure what to make of that. But of course, we starting Justin Fields. Let's see.
You had to take off the ticker.
Say again.
You had to take off the ticker.
From a running back perspective, David Montgomery, he should be in for an uptick in carries because Khalil Herbert is out.
It's another joke I got gone, killing my other league. Well, I'm number 1 in.
You got your therapy session today?
Oh man, yeah, man. It says since we're getting back to Cordell Patterson. Last week it was Cordell Patterson had 8 carries, Algier had 5, Huntley had 5, A.B. Williams had 4. They said since his return, Patterson has been in bubble wrap as the Falcons deployed a 4-headed backfield monster, which is the craziest thing ever. And he's averaged 38.5% of the snaps, 10 touches and 36.5 yards in his 2 games. I don't think you can touch the Atlanta's backfield at this point in time. It's somebody.
I am. I'm still picking. I think Cordell's going to go off this game.
Unfortunately, I got to choose in one league, at the salary cap league I got to choose based on buys. I got to choose between him and Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt is basically has given me nothing over the last few weeks. Oh, we got Cole Kmet, man. He finished as tight end 2, tight end 1 over the last 2 games. And since week 5, he's been 16 in receiving yards and yards per run route and getting 18% target share. So he's definitely somebody you got. I'm rolling out. I mean, look, the crazy thing is, in the bye week situation, I got Cole Kmet and Mark Andrews in one of my leagues. And so I got Cole Kmet at tight end and Mark Andrews starting at the flex. So
yeah,
that's just by the grace of God that Mark Andrews decided he was can come back this week. So all right, next up, let's see. Next game up, we're gonna go to Cleveland Browns, Buffalo Bills. Over under 50. Buffalo's favored by 7.5. Interesting thing is that this game is being played in Detroit inside a dome. So we don't have to worry about any weather situation. Y'all seen the snow picture I sent?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yup.
My grandma.
But you know that might be a blowout right there. I seen the picture of the snow. It's about to be a blowout.
Look, that's crazy when you get so much snow that you can't host a football game.
Right. The team just left the thing yesterday.
Yeah, I'm surprised they left so late.
Right. They couldn't get out.
No, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that they knew that it was coming. I'm also surprised that they played Detroit next week, but they're going to come back home and then go back to Detroit. I think that I thought they said they were staying. They're not going to stay in 4 days. They got to, because 3 days ago they said they planned on coming back and then going back, which made no sense.
Why would you go back to the snowstorm?
It made no sense.
So what I heard about why they got out so late was because So they had to pack all, NFL packing the home stadium.
Right.
Yeah, they had to move all that stuff over there.
So when they say the team just getting there, does that mean the players, or that just mean all basically they moved everything?
The players got there yesterday, but they were stuck the day before.
Oh, okay.
Shoot, what's the name? Also, not to mention, I like this game, man. I think it's gonna be a blowout since it's back on turf, right? I see Chubb going off, and I see
man, I need Hunt to get back involved. He's been getting nothing.
I know. Since he called that trade,
Chubb's been eating.
Since he put that trade request, his numbers been going down.
They couldn't get once they didn't get rid of him. I'm like, I thought they would put him back in there, but nope. They said last week Hunt played a season low 36% of the snaps with 7 touches and 19 yards, and he had to finish top 24 since week 1. Since week 1, he had to finish. Had an RB2 finish.
Man,
and that's the only time he done it this year. I guess that would make sense because that was the first weekend. Man, shoot, Chubb, he on pace for 1,700 yards and 21 touchdowns. So if you got him, he killing the game.
Someone just traded for him in our league. Who was it?
Really?
Curtis. Yeah, Curtis just picked up Chubb. Chubb and Devontae Smith. Yo, your man Vermont, man, be overthinking. No. Purdy actually did this one. And in return, he got back Foreman and I can't remember the other person. Oh, and Cooper
Cup.
Mike Cooper.
Oh no, that doesn't even sound right. Why would you do that?
Yo, let me double check because my brother announced it to me, and I didn't actually fact check it, but that's what my brother said. He said that's the trade. Yo, let me go look at it. Yeah, man.
That doesn't sound
right. I hope you watching, Purdy.
That sounds like an under the table transaction. Like here, I give you
$200. If since I knew for a fact that they ain't know each other, because Curtis is my cousin, you know what I mean. So I know for a fact they don't know each other. I'd be suspect about the joint.
But so I'm suspect the fact that Purdy was. That's the second trade this year he had that was suspect if he did that. Didn't he give away like Watson for, like they said, for a bag of beans or something like for some magic beans? No, who was it that he held on to? No, DeAndre Hopkins. He held on to all the time he was injured, and then gave him away like the week before he came back or something like that. For some
play the wrong move.
For a sack of nickels.
When does I guess we'll get there when we get to Cleveland, but about to say, shouldn't Watson be back? Yo, you don't even hear them talk about Watson, yo.
That's because the league don't want you to talk about it. They just want to quietly slide in there.
Yo, right. Like they don't even.
But I know he started practicing with the team, right?
Man, I ain't heard a peep.
Well, look, they say he's eligible.
He's practicing all right. He's practicing, but Brissett's playing this game.
Man, they talking about Keenan Allen expect to play. He mess around God, they get full play and somebody's hamstring.
I lost Zach Ertz in my other league. 2-time champion.
That was the first joint I saw that you had that came up with Zach Ertz.
Oh, my joints is just like, yo.
All right, so look, going back to this Buffalo Cleveland game. We see it. The Singletary still holding it down for the Bills backfield. It says over the last 2 weeks, Singletary has averaged 13 touches and 47.5 yards while playing 73% of the snaps. However, he's ranked at 46th in juke rate and 35th in evaded tackles. Let's see. Right now, they got him ranked as a low-end RB2 at the moment. We talked about Peoples-Jones. He's been wide receiver 36 in fantasy with a 32% target share over the last 6 games. He's 29th in receiving grade, and 15th in yards run per and yards per route run, with 5 weeks of at least 70 yards receiving. Hasn't scored this year, but does have 6 red zone targets. 3 came in the last 4 games, and they talking about him being ranked as like a wide receiver 3. So I think this might be the. Go ahead, Jose. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jose.
Just can't hear you. Jose, can you hear?
He's been real sneaky. Oh. Sorry. Brother, I'm on the phone.
He got the breakup joint going. Then he got
He got a lot going on. He got Bella and a breakup. All right, look, why you get that together? So look, we got Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. I think if you got him, you know you starting Stephon. I think you starting Davis as well. And Njoku, he said he had a DNP with practice in limited fashion on Thursday and Friday. Listed as questionable to play. When he was in there through weeks 1 through 6, he had a 17% target share, 23.5% end zone target share. And so if he's playing, he's definitely worth to start. You know, although it's the Bills on elite defense against the tight ends, second in DVOA, allowing the second lowest yards per reception, and haven't given up a receiving touchdown to a tight end. So him coming back from injury and that being the case, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can roll him out there.
Yeah.
But I guess if you got him, unless you picked up somebody else like Cole Kmet or somebody, you may have to. But
about to say, unless you have to, but like we talked about before all season, man, the tight end. Once you get back the first 2 or 3 tight ends, it ain't. You ain't getting much out of a tight end anyway, for the most part.
Right. All right, man. The next one up is the Philadelphia Eagles and the versus the Indianapolis Colts. Over under on that is 45.5 points. Eagles favored by 6.5. And so, of course, we already know you starting Jalen Hurts. I think right now, if you're in a 2 quarterback league, Matt Ryan might not be
Might be a bad flex.
Might not be a bad flex. However, it says the Eagles remain, and I'm thinking about the Washington game, they remain an elite pass defense. They're giving the second fewest passing yards per game, lowest EPA per drop back, 6th lowest explosive rate. And so, but he finished as QB5 last week. Like I said, they're going to throw the ball. So I like him. He said, but that was due to a 30 yards rushing yards he had in a touchdown.
Yeah. I actually, Fantasy Pros have them top 20 at number 20 ahead of people like Ryan Tannehill, Matthew Stafford, Jacoby Brissett. So some of them French 20s.
Right.
Actually top 20. So if you got a 2 quarterback league, that'll probably be a good play.
And so Miles Sanders, he's RB20 on the season. However, over the last 3 games, he only has one contest. He only had one game where he had more than 15. He had at least 15 carries.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, did you see the game last week when he went like the first half with 3 carries? It was weird, man. Like, it's so weird the way they use him. Sometimes because I remember in one of my leagues, he'll have 3 carries, 6 yards, and you'll be like, "Damn, it'll be 3rd quarter," and then middle of the 4th, he'll have 13 carries, 88 yards, right? Like, it's just strange the way they use him, man. Sometimes he doesn't even get more than 10 carries. Sometimes he'll just get a boom of carries in a quarter, like so. But he's still a RB1. It's just, he could be so much more if he actually got the touches.
Right. So we know you're rolling out A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Michael Pittman, man. He said in the 7th game with Ryan, he's finished as a wide receiver 1 twice and a wide receiver 3 or better in 4 weeks, right? And so with that being said, it says the Eagles have deployed their corners in zone coverage 60 to 61% of the snaps. Against zone, Pittman has accrued 52% of his target volume, ranking 28 and receiving grade and 31st in yards run, minimum 10 zone of 10 targets. It says, but he's a wide receiver 3 that will run about 75% of his routes against Darius Slay, right, which is a shutdown corner, and James Bradbury. So we got a tough matchup this week. Let's see. I think Paris Campbell and Alex Pierce are two flex options. It says Campbell has 3 wide receiver 1 weeks where he surpassed 57 yards in each, and 5 other games with Ryan. He's finished as wide receiver 63, 115, 91st, 46, and 81. Wow. He has only two deep targets and 5 red zone looks this season. Yeah, so I think that they're probably long shots, but they're deep lead flex options. Let's see who we got next up on the list. All right, so we go with the New York Jets and New England Patriots. Man, this
what's the over under on this?
38 points.
I figured it's gonna be something low.
38 points. New England favored by 3.5. And they say since week 7, the Jets are 16th in pace of play, and 16th in pace of play. And so the Patriots are setting their ways. They move at a slow speed. They rank 26th in pace of play. So we know that's not boding well for a lot of points being scored. With the running back situation, week 10, Michael Carter and James Robinson had pretty much the same share of running back carries, but the target share, Michael Carter had 13, or basically 14%, while James Robinson had 5, and Michael Carter had 6 red zone opportunities. So I definitely think he's the one you want to start or you want to have in that backfield. Let's see. Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harrison. It says in the last 2 games together, Steven has averaged 70% of the snaps played with 21 touches and 120 yards total yards per game, and saw a 25% sharp target share and 55% route run rate. And it says even if Harris is healthy this week, Stevens should retain the passing down the majority of snaps. In the last 2 games since he came back, Harris has averaged 8.5 touches with 31 total yards, and he's only had 1 opportunity inside the 20-yard line since he's been back. So, from a receiver standpoint, over the last 2 games, Garrett Wilson, he's had 8 targets, 7 receptions, and averaged 104 yards per game. Finished wide receiver 15th and 11th. Overall, you get a 22.5% target share with 10. Wow, there's 10 red zone targets this year. Let's see. He's 10th in PFS receiving grade. He's going to run, 71% of the routes against Jonathan Jones and Jack Johnson, which both are pretty decent corners. Jacoby Myers, he is wide receiver 15th on the year, right? Which is saying something because I remember he couldn't catch a touchdown, saving his life. He always gave you production from a reception standpoint, though. He's getting a 25% target share, 32% air yard share. He's seen 8 deep targets, 4 red zone targets in his last 2 games. And so, his matchup is good though. He's going to run about 71% of his routes against Michael Carter, the deep corner, who has a 74.5% catch rate and 84.6% pass rating in the slot. So, yeah, he has a good matchup. From a tight end standpoint, Hunter Henry's not all that viable. Tyler Conklin, he's matchup based. And so, yeah, I'm not sure. He's matchup based, and they say New England is 13th in fantasy points allowed against tight ends. Let's see.
My bad, fellas. Internet went out.
Cool.
Bella was like, I said I'm hungry now.
Yeah, she's getting there. Yeah, but now this game I do like Ramondre Stevenson and Conklin from the tight end Conklin. I forgot his name. But I like Conklin. I like both running backs in this game.
I think if you got Stevenson or Carter, you in good shape. James Robinson, he's getting the same amount of carries, rushing attempts, but he's not getting any of the passing game or red zone opportunities. Let's see. All right, next game up: Los Angeles Rams versus New Orleans Saints. The Aints Bowl, because the Rams ain't got Cooper Kupp, and New Orleans they don't seem that they can get much going either. They said, man, pace of play. The over-under is 39 points. New Orleans is favored by 2.5, basically getting the home nod. The Rams' average pace of play is 29% and still remain pass heavy. Now, I'm wondering what it's going to look like now that Cooper Kupp is gone. The Saints are 19. And they have a 12 highest rushing rate. So basically, in a neutral situation, the Saints going to run the ball. And in a neutral situation, the Rams gonna pass, but they still how you mostly pass, but rank almost last in pace of play. Anyway, I don't think you can't start Stafford or Dalton. Anybody worth talking about on here? Kamara's RB8. Averaged 19 touches and 100 yards per game.
Higbee had a big week. Higbee had his best week last week that he had in a while.
He's been number 10 on the season and commanded 20% of the target share last week.
Yeah, and with Kupp going down, that's even so Higbee's probably the only thing I would look at.
What'd you think about Juwan Johnson? A tight end for New Orleans. It says,
I like him. But it depends who on quarterback though.
Right.
Dalton been seen to like giving it to him. It's either between him and Olave.
Oh man, Olave, it says he had a rough patch with finished 40 wide receiver 43 and 59 of his last in 2 of his last 3 games. So I need he in a slump right now, and I'm not sure. Did they already determine that that Dalton was starting? Yeah, it says Dennis Allen stated Dalton will start this week. Yeah,
he said he was considering. He might change it during the season. During the game.
He had basically so Dalton starting, but he hasn't had more than 30 pass attempts since week 7. So take out of that what you will. Allen Robinson, he's 67 in fantasy points per game. He says finishes wide receiver 3 or better only twice this season. So we know you're gonna get some extra looks because of Kupp being out. But I don't know. Like, where would you place him at? Like, would you move him up at all, or do you think he's still kind of in the same boat before?
Man, I think if you need him, I think go ahead and get him. I think he's a good option if worst case scenario you got somebody on bye. But if you have a regular starter, or I'll probably pick. I think if you need him, just pick him up.
Yeah, I'm looking, and even with Kupp out, I don't know. I guess would you take him over? Who would you rather have between Robinson, George Pickens, and let's see, between Robinson, Pickens, and Curtis Samuel?
Oh, Samuel's first, Pickens second, or or Pickens first. And I'm not even putting Robinson in that category. I'm not even picking him. I'll pick what's the name, Van Jefferson before I pick him.
All right, let's see. Next up is going to be Detroit Lions versus New York Giants. Over under on that is 45 points. Giants favored by 3. Let's see.
I like the Giants on this, but I think it's gonna I think is a stacking game. I got some stacks with Slayton, Barkley, and Jones.
Yes, right now Jones is QB 14 per game. on a per game basis with 2 top 10 weeks on his resume. And so as long as he keeps rushing, he has a high floor. And let's see, Jamal. So it'd be interesting to see what they do between with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. And it says, I see a tweet that says Andre Swift tells ESPN that his best football is most definitely ahead this year. Kind of pushing through it right now, still dealing with stuff, but at the end of the day, it's about winning. So I know he's still dealing with, coming back from injury. But they say Jamal Williams dealing with an illness, and Swift ankle and shoulder each practice on full Thursday and Friday. Both entered the game without injury designation. Williams is going to remain the lead back. Over the last 2 games, he's averaged 50% of the snaps, 20 carries, had 0 targets, and 70 yards rushing. And he's dominated the red zone work. He's second in red zone touches with 23 weighted opportunities. Let's see.
I think it's going to be a St. Brown game.
You said Mara St. Brown game. It says, and St. Brown's 6 healthy games. He's been a target vacuum, 32% of the share, basically getting 10 targets per game, average 83 receiving yards, with 3 yards per route run. So not a lot of deep targets, but he was getting peppered throughout the game. And it said, despite his ridiculous volume, he only has 3 touchdowns this season, which can be traced to his 7 red zone targets, which makes him 31st in the year. And he's only been targeted downfield 3 times. He's volume-based wide receiver 1. But let's see. But he has favorable matchups against the Giants this week. So Wan'Dale Robinson, he was limited on Wednesday and didn't practice on Thursday before returning on a limited basis or to a limited session on Friday. So it'll be interesting to see. The tight end situation is basically null and void. With Hawkinson being gone now. Let's see. Josh Reynolds, he's out for the game. Yeah, that's pretty much it from that perspective. We got a question. Interesting. It says from Jose, who do you think will get Kupp's targets going forward?
Higbee.
I think we talked about it. We say Higbee, and we already know that Robinson will give more opportunities, but the question is, what will he do with it?
Yeah, Higbee and Robinson.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up, Carolina versus Baltimore. So the interesting thing in this week is Baker Mayfield is back in the fold.
Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards is out.
Nah, they say he's out.
Yeah, he's out for the week. Let's see. It says, it said in this, when I saw earlier, as far as the injury report, let's see, they said they had him as not, they said not expected to play. And then the last thing I got, it says he was limited on and where they practice. And he said unlikely to play against the Panthers. So basically, it's going to be a game time decision. They said Rappaport said that a pregame workout could change the Ravens' thinking, but given how cautious they've been with injuries, you shouldn't expect him to play. So, with Dante Foreman, since week 7, averaged 20 touches, 103 total yards per game. He's crushed in 3 or 4 games, finishing as an RB 17, 5, 40, and 9. So we know we're starting him. With Baker coming back, we know when Baker was under center, DJ Moore basically was missing the action. You think that goes back to the same thing, Gene, or you think that Baker's seen the error of his ways and he'll get DJ Moore some touches?
Yeah, I think that he'll get some touches, man. I think he's a little more competent than Walker, man. I think it's hard to go about 3 or 4 targets a game. Like, I can't see Baker not getting DJ Moore the ball, so I would definitely like DJ Moore. Really? So you like DJ Moore less with Baker than you do with
Walker? Man. I do not like Baker.
That's the crazy thing about it when it says
I mean, I know he had more targets when Walker got in. Like, I mean, he had that fluke.
Listen,
Last
he got
second touchdown. Had that big game. He had that.
2-star receivers. He didn't. No.
He had huge games. Yeah, I think Baker gonna make a concerted effort, getting the ball this time though, because his career depends on. Like this is last.
I mean, pretty much.
I'm telling you. Okay, shot. We'll see.
Because who else is he gonna target, right? Like,
Terrence, he gonna target Marshall.
That's what we said early in the season. Who is he gonna target?
Trimble. He gonna target Foreman.
Yeah, I would bet that DJ Moore gets the majority of the targets. Now, again, whether Baker hit him on the numbers or not is a different story. You know what I mean? Like how accurate those targets are is one thing, but I think he's going to definitely make a concerted effort to get him the ball.
Yeah, man. So with Mark Andrews, he was limited on Wednesday and Thursday, but upgraded to full practice on Friday. And so you got to roll him out there, right? Like, you got a number 2 on the season in tight ends. If you're playing, you're playing them. So let's see. Oh man, what you think about the Washington Commanders Houston Texans game? And the reason why I'm excited is because Houston basically is O-line running backs. So I'm hoping that this bodes well for Antonio Gibson, right? and I mean, I guess in Brian Robinson too, because if Washington takes the same grain script that they had last week and are determined to just run the ball, right, as long as they have a positive game situation, then Houston has not shown that they can stop anybody. Let's see. From a pace-to-play standpoint, both are outside the top 20. Washington 24th or 25th, so they're not running a lot of plays. We saw that. And Washington is the 6th most rushing rate in neutral game script in the league. And the Texans are taking a more balanced approach, right? I don't think you can start. This is aside from the game against Philly, in the previous 3 games, Heineke was QB 13, 8, and 15. So this may be another opportunity for them to sneak back in the top 15, top half of the league in quarterbacks.
I think so. And I mean, I think Washington is not trying to start Wentz too. I mean, I don't think he's coming back, but if he plays. I think I read something where if Heineke plays 2 more games, then Washington don't have to send a 2nd round pick to Indianapolis for the trade.
So look, I not that I'm rooting against. I actually am hoping they keep the 2nd round pick, but not that I'm rooting against Wentz. But the fact that the team, even Heineke might not even be a better quarterback than Wentz, but just the way the team responds to him, I'm not sure how you can bench him as long as they're winning. And
I feel this year looks like look at Geno Smith. Look at what's his name? Oh man, the quarter he slips my mind. The quarterback from Jets, the backup quarterback. He started off strong, and then they gave him they put him on a third quarterback. Oh, what is his name? Baltimore Ravens quarterback. He went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, you're talking about oh man. Now you got me like the
hold on,
black dude on, like the black dude on Price is Right. Let me get
yeah. he got the same birthday as mine. What's his name?
Hold on, you jumped around.
Old quarterback for the Ravens.
The old quarterback for the Ravens.
The Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Ravens.
Trent Dilfer.
No, you went back too far. You showing your age. Mm-hmm.
Tall guy.
The Ravens or the Raiders?
Ravens.
Oh, Joe Flacco. Y'all like
Flacco.
Right. I couldn't figure out what you were trying to, because Roddy said something about a black guy, and I was like, I don't know. Like, what are we talking
I said you got me sounding like the black guy
on. Okay.
I was saying how this year has been really crazy, where like a lot of people, the mediocre quarterbacks, are looking better than the starting quarterbacks. You got Brissett, you got you can even put Flacco, you got
Heineke.
Heineke. You got
although
Smith.
Look, although Walker was terrible, he looked better than
even
than
your
Mayfield.
quarterback, Cooper Rush.
No, he didn't look better. He did not look better, yo.
He was 3-1.
Right, but he didn't give you better numbers though.
He's 3-1. It's not about the numbers, it's about who's winning.
Yo, you know how perception is reality? Like he's 3-1 and Dak is 3-1. I guess Dak is 3-2 now because they lost that 14-point lead to Green Bay. But it's amazing how, expectation is factored into how good we view somebody as being.
All right, so we talked about the Washington backfield. They basically splitting carries. In week 10, round robin with the ground and pound game that they had, strategy had, he had 26% of the attempts.
I knew that when you
finished. Antonio Gibson had 14 rushes, but had 18 routes run, and had one more red zone opportunity. So I think that both of them are viable RB2s or 3s this week.
I agree.
Damian Pierce, though, it'll be interesting. He's RB14 and fantasy average 23 touches, 112 total yards since week 3, and he's played at least 72% of the snaps. Only downside is that he's 5th in red zone touches, but only 4 touchdowns this year. And so they say it's due to some touchdown regression where he'll score more. However, I'm hoping it's not against Washington, but it could be. Let me see. It says Washington has proven to be one of the best run defenses in the NFL since week 5. The 8th in rushing yards per game, 7th in EPA per rush, and 6th in explosive run rate allowed. So they got him ranked as an RB2 this week against Washington. I think we know he's starting Terry McLaurin for Washington. I don't think you can start any Houston.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I think you can. I think you can start Davis Mills on passing because they don't, their secondary is not really that good. Nico Collins.
Yeah, but I'm talking about from receiver standpoint. Would you play any of those between Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins?
Yeah, I'll do Nico and because Nico had like what 10 to 12 targets last week, and then you got is Nico Collins. You have Nico Collins. You have Brandon Cook, and then the other guy slips on my mind. I can see his number too.
Look, they said that Nico Collins will be matched up against Kendall Fuller, right? Who's giving up a 62% catch rate and 115 passer rating. That's crazy. 150. How do you give up 115 quarterback?
That was all Devontae Smith.
Good gracious.
Andre, I think it's Andre Smith. But yeah, I definitely would get. I definitely would pick up Nico. If you're looking for receivers, Nico Collins. I would do Brandon Cook. I don't really trust Brandon Cook like that because he pissed. And something as this guy Smith, he was last year. Oh man, let me look at their roster.
Man,
I mean, I can go forward. If I remember, I'll let y'all know. But
so next game up is going to be Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos.
I don't trust none of them.
The interesting thing, over-under is 41.5 points. Denver favored by 3. I'm reading the notes on this game. It said this game looks gross. It says, but it might offer one of the highest ceilings for play volume and pass attempts. Each team ranks in the top 12 and pace of play. So that's one interesting thing about it. Derek Carr and Russell Wilson are both. Derek Carr is a low-end QB2, and Russell Wilson is a QB2 with some upside, I guess. We know you starting Josh Jacobs, right? You got Melvin Gordon and Latavius Murray. They basically had 7 and 9 rushing attempts respectively, but Melvin Gordon is getting way more routes run, 25 to 10 last week. And then you got Chase Edmonds still in some passing game duty as well. So you're starting Josh Jacobs, you're starting Devontae Adams. Now, with Jerry Jeudy being out, the question is, how high are you guys on Cortland Sutton this week? They got him ranked right now.
I'm high on him, but I'm also high on Dulich.
So Cortland Sutton at the moment is ranked as, for the week, is ranked as wide receiver 13. So that puts him ahead of Gabe Davis, Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith, and Tyler Boyd, and Brandon Ayuk. Would you take any of those guys over Cortland Sutton?
Brandon Ayuk, yes.
I mean, yeah, and the Gabe Davis one is tough because he hit or miss. When he boom, he boom. He's a boom or bust.
Yeah, I think that the Gabe Davis one is tough because the upside is potential could be crazy this week.
Yeah, I think he might go off because he's on turf.
And Detroit.
Yeah. So I think he might fly because he's one of the fastest person on that team. Him and McKenzie.
So you mentioned Greg Dulcich. So last week was his first week outside the top 12, but the previous weeks in his first 3 NFL games, he was tight end 11, 7, and 9. So I definitely he's viable this week as a tight end 1. Let's see here. Next up, this game should be a fantasy extravaganza. The Dallas Cowboys versus Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, so I need a lot of points. Over under is 48.5, and Dallas is favored by 1.5 points. Interesting, right? So they said, I think at this point in time, every team in NFC East is 500 or better, and if Washington wins this week, I think all of them will be over 500. And with this game, if Dallas wins, then that puts Minnesota. That starts Minnesota what on a 9 game win streak, something like that.
8, yeah.
So,
yeah. And they had yeah, man, they gotta be the luckiest. Like I've never seen a team so lucky, yo. Like people be like, they got this resolve or whatever, and they just fight to the end. Man, when somebody hiking the ball and they goal line, they just drop the snap, yo. That's not resolve, yo. That's just luck. Like, it's just what it is, yo.
So look, you got like the Cowboys from a fantasy standpoint in this game because they said since week 9 with Dak back, Dallas ranked 2nd in pace of play. So
yeah, I mean, you definitely got to go start Lamb. I mean, Pollard,
right?
Dak probably QB2 at this point.
You playing Dalvin Cook, of course. CeeDee Lamb getting busy.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook, because the run defense is atrocious for Dallas. So Dalvin Cook is a must. Jeffries, of course.
I think the only question you have is whether or not you roll Michael Gallup out or Adam Thielen out there. Let's see.
Gallup or Thielen, those would be the.
I think both of them are. Gallup and Thielen are both wide receiver 3s, but I think Thielen has more of an upside based on the fact that Justin Jefferson is going to draw Diggs a lot this week. But he's been drawing everybody, and it hasn't mattered. But
and that's a matchup I want to see too because, like, if you got Dallas defense for turnovers or whatever, like Diggs is a ball hawk. Like
he gonna gamble,
yeah. Like they throw up a lot of stuff. Like 50-50 balls to Jeffries. And I would love to see him and Diggs have at least 2 or 3 50-50 balls to Dave. Like that's going to be interesting. Like that catch that he caught last week, would he have caught that catch if he had Diggs behind him with,
right.
2 hands on the ball? You know what I mean? Like that. Like I'm excited to see that matchup, yo. Definitely.
Right. I think with the tight ends, you're getting both of them out there as well. Both of them are tight ends, tight end 1s. Schultz might be a top 5 this week.
I agree.
He said over the last 2 games, Schultz has been. I'm still mad that I had to drop that dude because the bench was so short. He finished tight end 5 and 3 in the last 2 games. So he said they said basically Schultz has been a wide receiver 2 in this offense. and they said the Vikings have allowed the 9th highest catch rate, 9th highest yards per reception, and 10th most receiving touchdowns of tight ends. So, yeah, you have it. I know. I got two good guesses of who I might be playing in DFS this week. Next up, Cincinnati Bengals versus Pittsburgh Steelers. They said the Bengals have hit the brakes, dropping to 17 in neutral pace of play, and they are definitely more pass heavy. And while the Steelers are 13th in neutral pace, they are pretty. They said 13th in neutral pace and passing rate.
I got the Steelers beating them in this game. And I think
the crazy thing,
Najee gonna go off in this game.
Look, they said Joe Burrow, they played in week 1, right? He had four interceptions and still ended up at quarterback 6 for the week.
Yeah, but he had Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase ain't there today.
Right. That's saying a lot. But look, but I bring that up as far as the 4 picks is if you talk about they may lose the game if Pittsburgh, because they got what's my boy, the defensive end back now. So if they can pressure him into making some bad throws, then they definitely got a chance to win the game. TJ Watt, yeah. Man, yeah, Najee Harris. The best we can hope for is for them to give him at least 20 carries, right? If he can get at least 20 carries, then it makes him a viable, low end RB2.
That sounds about right.
So Jalen Warren eating into his rushing attempts, but also getting passing attempts as well. So we got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. You playing both of those guys. With Higgins being a wide receiver 2, and Boyd being a low end 2 or high end 3. Deontay Johnson, man. The only thing you can continue to hope for that he's been consistent at is he's getting targets, but it hasn't produced much. So it says over the last 5 games, he's had 10 red zone targets without scoring a touchdown.
Oh, wow. 10 targets.
10 red zone targets with no touchdown.
That's an interesting stat, yeah.
His matchup today is pretty juicy. He's going against Eli Apple, who given up a 60% catch rate and 97 passer rating, and Cam Taylor-Britt giving up an 86% catch rate and 158 passer rating. Good gracious.
That's going to go to fair move. The touchdown red zone going to go. Target's going to go to fair move or Pickens.
So this is Fair move has been knocking on the door of a massive game all season long. He only has 1 touchdown, but long in 3 games of at least 75 yards, and he's tight end 8 in fantasy points per game. But he's 20th in he has a 19% target share, 19%, basically 20% air yard share, and is second in deep targets among tight ends, and has 5 red zone looks. Bengals are middle of the road against the position, ranking 16 in catch rate and 19 per reception. And if he can get some touchdown regression, he definitely has a blow up game coming. He's a tight end 1, so he's another might be a sleeper tight end for DFS this week. If everybody's jumping on Schultz. Let's see. Anything else? Nope. Let's go to the next game. So that was the Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers. Next game we got on tap is like while we doing this and finish out the game, I started getting your DFS lineups and your 3 sleepers for the week. You hear those? 3 sleepers for the week.
Yeah, I copied that. 3 sleepers on the week.
The next game is the juiciest game of the week from a fantasy perspective. Is supposed to be this Kansas City Chiefs Los Angeles Chargers game. Over under is 52 points. Kansas City's favored by 5.5. It should put San Diego in a position to have to throw the ball a lot, right? Which doesn't matter much from Eckler's standpoint because he gets a ton of targets. I think in this game, really the question comes down to you starting Mahomes, Herbert. He hasn't been great, right? It says Herbert is a QB2 despite a frightful matchup against Kansas City, who since week 5 are 24th in passing yards per game, 25th in EPA per drop back, and 24th in explosive passing rate. So the matchup isn't that doesn't look to be that juicy for Herbert, but he's gonna have to throw the ball. So it says, and a lot of his struggles have been since his pass catchers have been out. I think they've only played. I think they said they played a total like 40-something plays with both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams on the field at the same time all season. 40, like somewhere around like 45 plays total. They've been on the field at the same time. So both were limited. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen were both limited on Wednesday and Thursday, and they both recorded a full session on Friday. So
I want to trust Keenan Allen on this, but man, I gotta get him one game full healthy.
I gotta see him log, and I hate to say it, this might be this might be the game he come back strong, but I'm not playing him until I see him log a full game. It's just that simple. Mike Williams, let's see. Basically, all of his production came when Keenan Allen was out of the lineup, right? But we know he was always a big boom or bust type of player where he either gave you touchdown or had that one blow up game. Let's see. Carter, you can't play him if both of those guys are active. Josh Palmer, and both receivers are back. They're both of those guys are wide receiver 4 or worse. We know we're playing Kelsey.
You know what? I like Kelsey, but I don't like him in this game. First game he played, because you still got Derwin James. The first game he played against them, he only had 10 points on fantasy. But
look, it don't take much to be top 10 in tight ends.
right. Right.
It says, so with Gerald Everett, it says he's tight end 12 in fantasy for points per game, with 15% target share, 9 red zone targets this year. And Kansas City has allowed the 10th highest yards per reception, 6 most receiving touchdowns to opposing tight ends. So Gerald Everett is in a good spot as well. So let's see.
And this is also a conference game, so a division game. Sorry, so it might be a little bit low. There's a potential to be like a stalemate.
All right, man. So we know Harmon was placed on our. Schuster's been out due to concussion. Valdez, Scantling. I mean, I don't know how valuable he is, but with two top receivers out, I think my best option is Kadarius Toney as the wide receiver 2. You guys touching this Kansas City backfield aside from
no
Pacheco?
McKinnon.
Really?
Yeah, he's the one that
have to.
He's getting the pass down.
He's getting all of the receptions.
You asked a lot for him to feed to gamble on one of their running backs. All right, next up, this game is near and dear to Jose's heart. It's San Francisco versus Arizona.
Yeah, I love this game.
So the over-under is 43.5 points. So not a big number, but San Francisco is favored by 8, that is a big number. San Francisco is favored by 8, and it says Arizona is 3rd in neutral pace of play, and they definitely are more heavily favored to pass than they run. It says Let's see. But San Francisco, wow, they one of the slowest teams in the league where they ranked 30th in pace of play. And more in close games, relying more heavily on the pass. Let's see. We know Garoppolo is an average QB. Murray missed last week with a hamstring. When there's been any update, he was questionable to play going in. It said the thing about it, they play Monday night, so if you don't have another option, you might have to make a move now. If you don't have anything else available on Monday.
Right.
We know we're starting Christian McCaffrey, of course, where he had 14 attempts last week. He was outpaced by Elijah Mitchell, 18-14.
Yeah, I'm about to add that in. Yep.
But he had 22 routes run. So it said Elijah Mitchell in his first game back, he played 25 snaps, handling 19 touches, with 88 total yards. So, and basically had 3 yards after contact per attempt, and had 5 missed tackles forced. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, he might not be a bad, in deeper leagues. James Conner. Go ahead. You gonna take that whole thing?
Yeah, if you have both of them, I'll definitely play both of them. If you have both of them on your team, if not, then definitely McCaffrey first. But Elijah Mitchell's gonna finish the game off. You know, if they're ahead, he's gonna, they're gonna run the ball with him and take out McCaffrey.
So on the other side of the ball, James Conner played 96% of the snaps handling. Yeah, 24 touches, 86 total yards, and 2 touchdowns. In his first 2 games since returning from injury, Conner has managed basically 4.4 and 2.4 yards after contact per attempt with 4 missed tackles forced. And so the 49ers remain a nightmare matchup for rushers, ranking 4th in rushing yards per game, 13 in EPA per rush, 4th in explosive run rate since week 5. So, but if Conner gets most of the red zone touches, then it definitely even things out for you as a Conner owner. Go ahead.
I just got an update just now. It said Tony Pollard to get more touches as Ezekiel Elliott will play with a brace on.
There you have it.
For injured knee. So just letting y'all know if y'all have.
I think from a receiver perspective, I think Debo and Brandon Ayuk will play with both wide receiver 2 this week. We know you're starting Hopkins. He's been number 5 receiver since coming back. And the 2 guys he's playing against both, Lenore gives up 78.5% of his catch rate with 103 pass rating. And Charvarius Ward is 59% catch rate with an 82% pass rating. And let's see. And I think Hopkins, you can count on him regardless of who's taking the ball from center. Rondale Moore, he's a wide receiver 29 on the year, but he's had 4 wide receiver 2 or better weeks in 7 games this season. Since week 8, he had to finish lower than wide receiver 16, and he had a 22% target share and a 23% target per route run, and has a red zone target in each game he's played this season. He's matched up against Jimmy Ward, which has he's matched up against Jimmy Ward, who has 100% catch rate.
100% catch. Well, how many targets does he have? Yo?
Yeah, because he is safety. He's not a corner, and plus he came back from an injury on his arm, so he had like a broken wrist or a broken hand. So
he had 100% catch rate and 143.8 pass rating, matched up against the slots.
Let me call out my man.
They don't have how many times he's been targeted.
Nah, let me see. Let me see if we get more detail on that. It just says he's dealing with. Yeah, it doesn't say. From a tight end perspective, is it's George Kittle, and that's it. So yeah, that's it for the games, fellas. That's it. Who want to go first on their DFS lineup?
I go. I got mine ready this time, man. First time all season. So
what you got? And what format?
So I use DraftKings.
All right.
Is what I get into. I went Justin Fields for quarterback. He's been a must play the last 5-6 weeks, man. He's killing it on the ground. Tony Pollard, that Vikings defense is suspect. So I would expect Tony Pollard to get a bunch of touches this week. Zeke is still questionable? Is he did they say
they say he's playing with a brace, right? Didn't you get that update?
Yeah, so
he's playing with a brace on his knee.
Okay, so Pollard still will get the majority of carries there, so I'm rocking with him against that weak defense. Najee Harris, I went with Najee Harris because I told y'all that. So Rodney got on me last week because he didn't have a touchdown. He had 99 yards and no touchdowns, but I don't think he's a good back. I just think he's going to get a lot of touches, in the rivalry game, and he's going to get the goal line touches this week. If he didn't get a touchdown last week, he'll probably get one this week. So I'm rolling with Najee Harris. I had a budget somewhere, so Najee Harris went there on a little budget trip. Another budget, I budgeted on my wide receiver a little bit with Allen Robinson. I figure at some point in time he has to explode, especially with everyone missing. McLaurin, they're playing against Houston. Say no more. CeeDee Lamb, I dig up with one receiver. He's actually the number 2 receiver on a lot of fantasy boards this week behind Jeffrey, which is interesting because they play each other. I budgeted with the tight end with Dawson Knox. This is going to be part of my sleeper, but I'm going with Curtis Samuel, Mr. Do-It-All-Everything, Swiss Army knife. They play against the Texans as well, so that's a thing. And my defense was the Bears, only because they're playing against the Falcons, and I feel like I only had $2,800 left, so I had to sacrifice somewhere. So I went with the Bears defense over the Falcons.
Run that down one more time.
Justin Fields, quarterback, Pollard, Najee Harris,
okay,
Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Dawson Knox, Curtis Samuel, Bears D.
Okay. What you got, Jose?
All right, I hope you got your notepads out. This is gonna be a good one right here. Okay, I got for DraftKings. I have Justin Fields, Ramondre Stevenson, running back Antonio Gibson. Wide receiver is going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, and then tight end I'm going to come with Dallas Clark, Schultz, Brian, and then my flex is going to be Brian Robinson. And my defense is going to be Vikings defense. And then I have another one if y'all want me called out too.
And what format was it that you just did?
This is the 1 o'clock. DraftKings.
No, DraftKings. Okay.
Yeah. Because the pricing is real tight, so you're getting better value on a double tight end. So this is my second one. Quarterback Daniel Jones, running back Saquon Barkley, again with Ramondre Stevenson. Wide receivers will be Amon St. Brown, McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, and then I'm going 2 tight ends. My first tight end will be Cole Kmet. My flex tight end will be Fairmouth, and then my defense is Vikings.
All right.
And then my sleeper is Damian Byrd from Atlanta, and Donovan Peoples-Jones for my receivers, and then I want to say Likely. I think Likely is going to come out and play well for Ravens.
Even my boys playing this week.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think because Bateman's out, I think it's gonna be Andrews and Bateman. I mean Andrews and Likely.
Interesting. All right, so my DFS pick is for the Yahoo DFS, and this sounds crazy, but I'm not too mad at it. Right? I got a triple stack going. and you'll hear as I run them all. I got Dak Prescott as my QB, and he's more of a value play. I think it's a lot of upside, like his price. Saquon Barkley at running back, Jonathan Taylor, the other running back, right? So I got two potential studs. If now that Matt Ryan is back at the helm for Indianapolis, you can kind of even things up a little bit. They're gonna have to run the ball. They're gonna take a page out of the Washington playbook. I got Terry McLaurin at receiver. I'm around St. Brown as my at receiver. CeeDee Lamb at receiver. Dalton Schultz at tight end. Josh Jacobs as my flex. And Baltimore as my defense. So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I got the triple stack with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Dalton Schultz. Now it's interesting. I didn't use Pollard, but just the way way things broke down. Not to say I won't put Pollard in there and some other ones, but my main lineup right now: Prescott, Barkley, Taylor, McLaurin, Brown, Lamb, Schultz, Jacobs, and Baltimore for my defense. You got any sleeper picks, Gene, at all?
Curtis Samuel was the obvious one that I put out there. Actually, anybody on Washington that get touches, man, like Dawson, Samuels. I just think they're gonna have a good day against Houston's defense. There was one more person I had, and as my phone went off, I lost my train of thought. I should have wrote it down. But yeah, that's what I'm going with for now, man. Anybody with over 6 touches on Washington offense is a sleeper.
All right, let's see.
Look, man, I'm gonna hold myself back from responding to that, but hold myself back.
Except for the obvious, like the McLarens or whatever, yo.
All right, man. My sleepers for the week is, I don't know if they necessarily sleepers, but I think they're just in a prime opportunity to outperform, right? Their normal projection, and that's Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. And I like Tyler Boyd, right? To have a big game this week, and Cortland Sutton. That's what I'm gonna go with. The Washington backfield, Cortland Sutton, receiver for Denver, and Tyler Boyd. Those are my sleepers for the week. So with that, fellas, that's all we got. That's all we're gonna give them. If the people want more, let's see us back on Monday.
All right. I thought you wanted some more sleepers.
give me one for the road, Jose.
One for the road would be Nico Collins.
Okay. Against the Washington suspect Washington defense. I ain't mad at.
No, not against Washington defense, but against Kyle Fuller.
Oh, okay. Kendall Fuller.
Kendall Fuller. Sorry.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. He's not giving up 100% catch rate, but he close to it.
Oh, that hurt.
All right, fellas. I'll let y'all, man.
All right, man.
Good luck finishing second to me in the DFS joint.
Bye.
Oh, you joining?
You get. I meant to join. I ain't get locked out yet, did I?
No, Tony was saying that you came and just took the money and ran.
No, I'm not winning the season long. I got one somewhere in there.
Yep.
Look, as long as I got a spot, I'm about to put my joint in there.
Yeah, I'm about to set my roster up now.
All right, man. I'll holler at y'all.
All right.
Later.